All right, let's get started. Thank you for joining us today for today's webinar. We are very excited to share with you how we can empower Pharma SFE and sales teams to analyze and improve their performance through automated actionable insights. My name is Aliasgar Haji and I'll be your host for this event. Before we begin, just wanted to let you know that this session will be recorded and we'll be sending the recording to you post the webinar along with the link to this presentation. We'd love to hear from you. So please add your questions in the Q&A section. For those of us who have just joined, welcome. So before we kick off, to give you a little context on who we are as a company, VFrace is a global technology company that provides AI-powered business intelligence and reporting automation solutions. We equipped enterprises with easy to understand, personalized insights in natural language to make well-informed business decisions. Fraser, our patented platform, analyzes complex structured data and gives you easy to understand language-based insights using natural language generation technology. It summarizes data into a few bullet points, highlighting key insights that are required for making business decisions. We enable business decision making at large eminent enterprises through dynamic automated narratives. We are also currently working with SFE, sales, marketing, analytics, and other functions within prominent pharmaceutical organizations. I would like to introduce the speakers, Shruti Mohandas, Sales Lead India, and Sohail Chawla, Lead Account Management. So the agenda for today would be where we will take you through some of the challenges faced in data analysis by pharma companies and how they may be addressed through reporting and insights automation. We will also highlight how a global pharmaceutical organization is benefiting from our solution. So let's get started. Shruti, you decided to use this visual to represent the current state of data in pharma companies. What was your thought behind it?
Right. So in my conversations with pharmaceutical organizations, data silos, multiple data sources, and no single source of truth have always been some of the top unsatisfactory challenges that have been posed. When I hear these challenges, I would always think of a highly complex, unsolved puzzle, which is being pieced up together by multiple stakeholders and teams. So everyone is trying to piece the data together using their own understanding, interpretation, technologies, and capabilities. But ultimately, everyone has this one key goal of looking at the big picture.
Okay, got it. So does this data fragmentation cause a lot of issues to the business teams? What are the challenges have you seen these companies encounter?
So first and foremost, the abundant amount of time that is tied up with collecting data from multiple sources. So pharma companies subscribe to a lot of data, right, from market share, prescriptions, field force efforts, secondary sales, and more data is also generated internally, which is followed by cleaning up this data to make it consumable and decipherable. These data hygiene checks alone eat up a big chunk of precious time. So after all of this, another challenge that is faced is that we want to solve today actually at this webinar is the tedious report creation process. So, various therapies and various brands post receiving their data, they need to navigate through them to identify key insights, actionables, and summaries, and also create reports and PowerPoint presentations for decision making. And finally, the whole intent of this activity is, of course, data-driven decision making. So therapy heads and brand heads need to interpret the Excel outputs or visualizations to arrive at action points, areas of concerns, opportunities, and they all need to agree upon their interpretations and get everyone relevant to actually act upon it. So, Ali, you can imagine how much time goes away in each of these steps.
Yes, right. It sounds very complex. What else have you observed?
Well, what I've also observed is that while speaking with the consumers of these data, the next more strategically important challenge is the quality of the insights that they're getting. So manually, insights writing cannot ever cover everything that needs to be in front of you. So even if you look at visualizations, team needs to interpret insights out of it. And senior management, you cannot expect them to analyze, say, Excel or charts and graphs. And exactly similar, you cannot expect your regional managers and field reps also to interpret insights. So the efforts of data to insights does not justify the quality of the outputs that teams are currently getting. And this is something that a lot of sales and marketing manager, the heads and managers share this kind of a challenge with us.
I'm sure this would impact the workforce too.
You got it right, Ali. So the team members actually take the major hit since half the time they are working on performance data. So their KRAs is of course to increase sales and improve market share. But to achieve that, they need to clear the fog in the data to help them make such decisions. So a lot of mental bandwidth and power goes into actually finding out these insights, and they invest so much time which could be actually better invested in strategic advisory, deciphering best course of actions, and also detecting threats in the market. So it's all a big inefficient process that people are also stuck in, and it needs to be solved using automation.
So what I understand is that there is a lot of time that goes into the entire process of getting the data to actually getting insights for decision making. Also, after investing so much time, the quality is something that sales and marketing teams are not satisfied with. They don't get access to actionable and critical insights. So, Shruti, how do we address these challenges?
So, Ali, the solution is simple. We need the big picture and we need it quickly, efficiently, and in a non-complex manner. So, we need insights and reports that can be generated easily, on time, and more than anything at scale. So, here's a glimpse of the solution that we are proposing, right? So, this is our platform, right? And there's a report. This report is actually created out of market share data, your sales data, your medical reps efforts data, and it's for a particular therapy. So in this case, it's the oncology therapy. So we have this report that is going to tell you everything and anything and everything that normally you try to decipher out of your data. So starting with, of course, the market overview, so you get a visualization depicting it, but you get summaries actually telling you what exactly the data is trying to say. So you have your overall therapy-wise share in sales, followed by how you are performing as compared to the competitor companies in the oncologic therapy itself, followed by the competitor brands in the oncology therapy, if there are any new brands who are entering into the market, and if there are any threats that you have, it's compared to the brands in the market, followed by how you are performing as compared to your competitors. So I hope the audience is getting a view of what the solution is, right? The solution is simply that instead of looking at Excels and visualizations, how about getting summaries directly that your teams are currently writing? So for example, here the insight says your top competitor Million is currently at second position in the entire market with a share of 10%. Its contribution remained fairly constant over the previous year, with sales amounting to 4,293 million. So this is something that you would have to go through a lot of data or a lot of visualization to arrive at. But what if you're getting these summaries directly? So similarly, what is your market share for oncology division? So your current performance in the market is remarkable, but there's a possibility of downfall in the upcoming period. So we can expect these kind of insights only when someone actually goes through that data, and you don't have time for that. So our solution is to give you these insights directly in the form of narratives. And you can also expect, more strategic insights like physician analysis. So we all know how important it is to target the right type of physicians in order to get more and more sales. Similarly, you need actionables, as we discussed a few minutes earlier. We need actionables. So getting recommendations to actually drive growth in sales is something that can be automatically generated, and this is a new technology in the market. So this is the solution that we have, and yeah, this is what we want to talk about in this webinar.
Oh, got it. So, Sohail, how does this solution benefit sales teams? Has it actually made some impact in an organization, or has it solved any real life challenges?
Absolutely, Ali. Thanks. So we actually have seen the impact of this solution and what we're talking about in real life scenarios and in our pharmaceutical clients as well. So these are the four impact areas that we try and target, and these are the four areas that we try and support our pharmaceutical clients on. The first is agility, and we address this by providing a speed of reporting and analysis that is unmatched. Uh, Usually teams spend the good part of the month doing this analysis and communicating these reports and these analysis across the organization and across different teams. What we're able to do is provide quick analysis that is ready to use, easy to understand, and quick to take decisions on. The next impact point is accuracy. You can imagine when there's very little manual intervention involved, and there's a standardization of analysis and reporting structures across an organization, there's very little room for manual error. And that is what we do to improve accuracy across teams and organizations. Thirdly, simplicity, where we're talking about easy to understand language through our patented natural language generation libraries. And these insights, which are easy to read, easy to understand, and thereby easy to take decisions on. Lastly, and most importantly, customization. So like we mentioned already, we are providing reports and analysis right across all levels of the sales hierarchy, right from the field force up to the sales management and senior executives, where they can take a view of what is more relevant to them and take decisions accordingly. So these are the four impact areas that we try and target and try and support our client and pharmaceutical partners on. How we do this is through these solution areas. We try and send reports and alerts to the right employee at the right time. There's integrated data where we tap into different data sources, bring all of that data into a platform, analyze it all together, and give an integrated and a holistic view of the analysis to the organizations and the teams. There's comprehensive analytics as per the business users and the stakeholders, keeping in mind the project. And we are doing these projects at huge scale, providing, like I mentioned before, customized reports to each and every individual that form a part of the sales pyramid. We are enabling these individuals, these stakeholders, with guided recommendations so that they can track their KPIs and proactively act on any hidden opportunities that might not have been apparent using using conventional data analytics tools. So I would also quickly want to highlight one of these reports that we are providing one of our clients with. This is masked, of course, for the purpose of this session. But I would want you to read some of these insights that are presented on your screen right now, and I hope you're able to relate these to real life challenges that you face with your data analysis and your performance strategy. So as you can see, this is similar to what Shruti was referring to earlier. We're talking about specific therapies. We're talking about specific brands. We're talking about your market share. We're talking about your primary and secondary sales data. And we're trying to give you a holistic view of your to a particular brand, a particular geography, a particular category, doing well or not doing well. So I hope you've had a chance to read through some of these insights and relate to your businesses, to your challenges, and to your problem areas.
Right. So
I would also want to call out one particular case study where we are helping a huge global pharmaceutical giant automate their reporting by creating a single source of truth. So we are helping their sales and SFE team by automating reporting across the entire sales hierarchy. And addressing their challenge where conventionally they were basing their analysis on simple Excel dashboards that were static, that were spread across the teams, and that didn't insights to help these teams improve their performance. What this case study and what this project led to were shifts in the way that this organization was making use of their data. They saw 99% reduction in the time that they were spending in this analysis, and they could dedicate that time to actually taking decisions and tracking metrics that were important and highlighting areas that needed attention. There was also personalized reporting across hierarchy. So all levels of the sales pyramid got a view of what was important only to them, and they could take decisions in the first few days of the month rather than waiting till third or fourth week to be able to get that analysis in their hands. This led to a very directed effort of their sales force effectiveness teams and their sales teams, where they were able to push towards improving their sales month on month. And these clients have been with us on board for close to 3 years now, and they are deriving benefits from reporting automation and language-based insights every month.
Right. So let me just quickly check. We are getting few questions. Till then, I would request the attendees to put in their questions in the question section. Yeah. So the first question is, since organizations will use internal data for analysis, what do we do to ensure data security?
Right. So that's a question that we often get. We are able to deploy a solution Fraser on either your private clouds or your on-premises. So our clients' data is extremely secure and it stays within the ecosystem and never has to leave their environment. So their data is completely secure.
The next question is, what is the timeline for the execution of our solution?
Right. So a typical project takes about 10 to 12 weeks on an average, which includes various steps. But yeah, on an average, we take about 10 to 12 weeks to implement the whole thing at a client project.
I just got one more question coming in. What are the steps of the processes which are involved in the execution of the project?
Right. So we have a few steps. So firstly is of course data integration. So because we have multiple data sources, we got to connect to all of these data sources and integrate them into the platform. Followed by configuration of reports. So every organization, every department, every brand and therapy have different kind of thresholds and business context. So we got to configure the reports as per the business's requirements. So of course, then post that we would require feedback from the business teams, and right after that we go into the testing and deployment phase. So these are the steps: integration, configuration, feedback and testing, and then deployment.
I see another question over here which reads, how do people view or consume this analysis?
So as we saw in the platform, so we have a platform where you could view the reports and you can interact with the reports there and you can collaborate on the reports. So you have a dashboard view, but we also allow PDF, PPT extracts, or you can get these insights or reports directly mailed into your emails or SMS or alerts, so that you can consume data as per the hierarchical level. So regional managers and medical reps can directly get PDFs, where senior management can access the report in the platform itself and collaborate with the other therapy and brand heads.
Right. So I don't see any more questions over here. Again, so any of the attendees? Okay, so I see one question. Would you also pre-process the client's data / data cleaning as one of the steps?
Right. So we have an ETL layer within the platform itself. So for example, if there are multiple sources of data that we are connecting to, we can process that data, structure it in a way where it is integrated into one source, and then analyze it. We can also do basic data structuring and data cleaning if required. Of course, we rely on the client organizations for the source of the data, but yes, it can be worked on so that it's readable by the platform and the analysis is then possible.
So any more questions? So I don't see any more questions over here. So to bring this to an end, to bring the session to an end, to summarize, pharma sales and SFE teams are crushed under the data, and this solution would help them revolutionize how sales and marketing view their data. Fraser is already helping organizations like Sanofi, Abbott, Torrent, and Alchem, along with other organizations. They are benefiting from an increased focus on improving their sales and market share by readily getting equipped with data-driven insights to make strategic decisions. We hope you had an insightful session with us. Feel free to reach out to us in case you would like to have a one-on-one discussion. We have pasted our contact details in the chat section, and I'm just going to paste it once more for you all to see.
Before we close out, I think there's one more question that I see coming in. Let me just quickly address that. Regarding data format that needs to be uploaded into Fraser or needs to be connected. As long as it's structured data, there's no particular format of the data required. It can be analyzed. Our platform is smart enough to understand what columns and what rows your data contains. So as long as it's structured, the format really is varies from organization to organization. So that's not a challenge at all. I'll leave back to you, please.
I'm just waiting if there are any more questions. I don't think there are any more questions.
If there are any other questions at all, the link is there. You have the meeting link you can access. You can quickly book a one-on-one with us, and we'd be happy to discuss with you and see if there's any challenges that Fraser can solve there.
We'll be happy to address specific needs that your pharmaceutical organizations might have. We understand that data analysis is a challenge that is being faced by most large organizations. We have already seen success in addressing that challenge for large organizations and very eminent global entities. And we'd be happy to talk to you one-on-one and see if there are data analysis, insights related or reporting related problems that you are facing within your organization as well. Thank you for being a part of this webinar, and we hope this was useful and informative. We've tried to keep it as crisp as possible and not take too much of your time, but we do look forward to speaking to all of you one-on-one again soon. Thank you so much.
Have a great festive period.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.